ladies and gentlemen, if you saw the previous episode of Imperator Rome, which was the Hellenic invasion of Egypt, well, we did just that. We sure invaded Egypt. I took a lot of provinces. But most of all, we are the richest men in the world. And I am not exaggerating. Look at the wealth that we have now. And look at how much income, thanks to taking over Egypt. The northern part, the delta part, the more populous part of Egypt. Although, is there a way you could look that up in a map mode somewhere? No, not like that. Okay, there we go. Got rid of that menu. Oh, here it is. Is there a way? Yeah, population. As you could see, the brighter the green, the more populous it is. So, yes, indeed, we captured the most populous part of Egypt. Though there are some more populous cities further down the Nile. Or up the Nile, I should say. But of course, you know, the highest being in Thebes and Athens, because that's where the metropolises are. Some areas less populous than others, but certainly here, metropolis of Alexandria. And Memphis was a metropolis, but we reduced it to a city because that's where we got most of our money from. As many of our soldiers are heading home or to their original posts. But I gotta give it to Nicandros. He's the real one, we think, MVP of this war. Now at age 50, ever since he came on the scene, he was foolish, disciplined, energetic, brave, and honest. He did become a bit stubborn over time. And he's also a conqueror. But since he's plotting quietly, whatever that may be, but I'm gonna hold a triumph for you. So he is to attend his triumph and receive the honors bestowed upon him. Nicandros will be obligated to come to Thebes, and that's Thebes, Greece, not Thebes, Egypt, to avoid confusion. We know he's going to be removed from command, so before we'll 1 year later put him back into the army. This is just a way of saying, alright, you've earned a bit of rest, and then we'll come back in a year's time, since we're not going to be using that army for future conquests for now. But he will become more popular, and adding up the prestige to his family. Wish it was me. So the Hellenic League has held a glorious and extravagant triumph for Nicandros. There you have it. He's taken off command for now, as his army will be returning to the original post in Cyrenaica. Here. We'll put you back in command at least by next year. All the ships are repaired. So just separate, alright? Spread out. Hey, that's supposed to be the fast transport fleet. Where'd you get these ships? By capture, I assume. Well, just post yourself in Alexandria and I'll bring the ships out, split them in half, and send them to the other two navies. Oh no, you're incorrect. No, this is the old fleet, but it's missing medium ships. they took some considerable losses. Oh, okay, I understand now. Well then. We'll lend you some. So, give them 3 megapolyremes. And give them 1 more. Because a dozen megapolyremes is at least going to be the standard of the fleet. And you got some medium ships. There'll be 6 of them. And this many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? Yeah, that's what we're spending some of our money on to rebuild the Navy a little and improve some. And it's going to take a long time for some manpower recovery, which we get 8, close to 900 each month. Which is just wonderful. Provincial capitals to be moved. That'll remain. Lisa Delta. This here. This here Memphis, though it was recently heavily looted, will remain. Home of the Great Pyramids. And we, of course, Alexandria. Home of the Pharos Lighthouse. And of course Alexandria itself, which has recently become a metropolis. Again, it's post-war, so we'll do something about that wealth. But first, let's bring everybody home. And don't forget that we plan on expanding into Iberia as well. And Gogok, attack. Okay to claim on that. While Persian Empire, there's good news. There's a civil war. No doubt the loyalists will still win because they have Bactria and Parthia on their backs. But since it started by the Persian revolt, they're winning a little so far. But I don't think it'll last long. And once we fully recover, until we feel that we're confident enough to wage another big war, our next war will be likely against Carthage, not Rome. Carthage first. Because if we want to do a land campaign, to go across the desert and go as far as I can. Emporia will be the objective. But can we also take Bessus, which this area has elephants. Since we do not have a way to refill elephants anymore because the Persian Empire is in revolt, so we would just rather, well, go take elephants for ourselves and sustain it. And most of the populations obviously are all along the coast. Yeah, I wonder. Oh, I just recently held a triumph for, you know, our great man. I was hoping to hold one myself, but I'm already popular enough. So let's go, and I'll distribute the wealth. Since we're not at war right now. Just everybody scatter. Tomb of an Emperor. After the conquest of Alexandria, our soldiers as usual sacked the city, making off with all manner of spoils. There was, however, one area of the city that remained largely untouched by the looting. A grand edifice looming over the tightly packed districts of Alexandria stood proud throughout our conquest. In it lies the body of the most revered of men, Alexander. His victories almost innumerable. This man had a vision of likes which have not been seen since. It seems that he's been buried with the honor and respect that he must have deserved in a great city, overlooking the sea he once called home. Such a man deserves to be left in peace for his eternal slumber, but various voices and armies crowd for differing treatment of the remains of this hero, once feared and admired in equal measure. I didn't know we found his body again, his tomb again. We thought it was forever lost in Alexandria somewhere, but no, we found it. I assume it was you that found him, this pro-pontificate, which he's looking to hire a private army. Didn't think I would do that. Anyways, what are the choices? Keep him there? Or let him return to his ancestors, which would be a very honorable thing to do, since we know that the Macedonian region tends to be a bit unruly. It still is, but that could be the good choice. Or put him in Athens, which would add more assistant up what happens. Or, oh dear. Hey, I get a bit of martial, but why would I do that? It will take some time for the remains to be transferred, so now we're going to take him back to his home. Sounds like a proper thing to do. And that'll make the provincial loyalty of that particular area to be more loyal. So, this great conqueror's coming home. And yes, we know there's a bunch of starving populations, and so that's going to take a lot of time for me to do that. Start importing old trade goods again, but with the civil war over in Persia, that's kind of hard. Made a new friend. I'm sure you're eager to fight Egypt again. And of course the Phrygian. Which, despite everything I've done for him, but he's not going to be enough to start a civil war. Just remember, Nicandros gets his army again, he shall return. And I hope your son Minis will be a good one. But I do know that my son Alexandros, which unfortunately I don't think he's going to be another one of the good ones. Unfortunately, I just don't have good children these days. I mean, heck, she's the best one out of all. And she's very corrupt. Saying best as in skill. Anyways, let's see. Who's going where? Like, who's going where? Who wants to pick up? Because you can't stay here forever. since we plan on going to Iberia. This is the army that's going to be sent to the Iberian front. So make some room. I wonder who's doing that. Was that you, Governor, that did that? Because I didn't do it. Oh. Man, indulged in something. Let me see. Right. Well, I know you're not gonna like this suggestion, but we need road work. Connect the rest. Hang on. Sir from Western Delta. See, I didn't do it. So yeah, that was you, Governor. That was you. Oh dear, no. Who are you? Karian. Interesting. Lots of trade come from Egypt. We'll all be going home to original posts slowly but surely. Yeah, you're building a road from there to there. Connect. Well, meanwhile, I'll set off. You'll be picking up in Alexandria. The Phrygian stays wherever he wants to go. $900 each month. Everybody wants to buy food that's of an Egyptian origin here. From the Delta. Ready to go. Take us back to Phrygia. And the cavalry force shall head back to Greece. Until further notice. You stay until you're no longer disloyal. But he would like to be a politician. I don't know why, but you could be the good replacement of your father, because, well, you can't have a blind man running around here. Alright, they have arrived. Wow, 60%. Don't start the war yet. Really. Parnia, which is the migratory tribe with this many territories, is about to conquer this land, and possibly this too, including this important city, which was once the capital of the Bosporan kingdom that once existed. But here is now going to be under the control of the Parnians, or Parni, I should say. Scythians are really expanding. Rome is under a rebellion from Olivia. Carthage is at war with, I assume, yeah, Celto-Iberians. There's no doubt they're going to be the hegemon of Iberia. Thought about a way of how to combat against the Carthaginians. And since we'll get Serenica soon, in 3 years' time, we'll have control of this, and this is going to be our westernmost port, which no doubt will be in range of Carthage. Resting place of a conqueror. The sarcophagus of Alexander the Great was carried into our city, attended by great crowds. All fell silent at the sight, perhaps awed by the sobriety of the fate of such a great and honorable man. It would become us to prepare a great mausoleum worthy of laying this paragon of virtue to his final rest. A decision to construct the mausoleum is now available. We have the money? I'll build that damn thing. What are you waiting for? See, we can afford it. So yes, Conqueror's Mausoleum. Population growth up. Unintegrated culture group happiness will be up. And so is the population. Now that we have triumphantly returned the body of the great conqueror, Alexander, to our hands, we should construct a mausoleum worthy of memory of this great man. There it is. A resting place of Alexander the Great, a place of reflection, pilgrimage, and a stark warning of the trappings of power. But that's applied to here. We know it's right next to Pella, the former capital of the great Empire of Macedon. Why don't we just build a city around this area, now that we have this mausoleum here again? Don't you think so? Eh, Governor? Even though land's grain, but I don't know. And it's very, very civilized. Although it is not enough to convince the province loyalty to go that way. The only cities of here is Pella and Thessalonica. Maybe just instead of building a city and will remain a settlement, one would think that this area here might as well be a tourist attraction of sorts. Well, most of the population are Macedonians here in that settlement. But if our capacity is fine, so screw it, build a city. You got the money and well, barely the political influence. Barely. Unruly Phrygia. How corrupt are you? Extremely. I would have put you on trial right now if I had my druthers. Well, now that I'm back here, I'm about to head to there. Pay a royal visit. The army of Marcellus is one of the finest in all the Hellenic League. Not unless they issued a demand for issued soldiers, paid for and equipped from our own coffers. Recent rumors have portrayed Marcellus in a less favorable light, and we should begin to wonder where his loyalties truly lie. Could he be planning something? Well, just grant his request, I'll pay. Not that much manpower, at least in these standards. But we got you under control again. Yeah, below to a blind man. So yeah, way to go, we got him back. But, is it too little too late? And, well, the real question is, where would I dispose of him? Now that he's picked up this many. Now it's the largest army. Suddenly gain more cohorts. No, there is something else I want to do with the money. The number of ships we have is 210. Carthage, including, if you want to include their subjects, have this many ships. But their navy has a tendency to be resilient, especially with the morale navies. And since most of our fleets have a tendency to have heavy ships, so we would have less mobility, so it'll be less likely to catch Carthaginian ships. And that's something I'm about to do with that money. Build a new navy. Which it'll be first be built here. Actually, no, we don't have the wood. Okay. It'll be here. Lebanese for starters. Just stay there. Just be ready. Ah yes, General Scaris. I would become a bit more loyal, or just say no, just start seeing him as a rival, or just say what of it. Alright, Nicandros. He gets the assault ability up since he's the conqueror. Now he's back in his post. So long as he stays with us, has he received a triumphal march. Don't need a friendship. Road's almost finished connecting. Yes, a coastal highway from there to Alexandria. Even though there's the Nile, we don't need to build roads all over that area. Crisis in Iberia. There could be a potential civil war in that area, but I would rather have that land to ourselves. Which reminds me, now that I'm here, threats coming around now. And I urge the governor to give him harsh treatment. Now it's going up fast. Yes, back in my original garrison in Phrygia region. And remember, when the blind man is gone, this son will definitely take up in this army. Though large and mainly infantry. It would do for a time. There we go. Do not forget about the Antigonid remnant, which they're not going to be that much of a threat to me. Because the Persian Empire will not give them access. And plus, taking all Iberia with the areas that we have claims to is not going to have much in the increase of aggressive expansion. Okay, now that we got our navy, new navy. Okay, I got it. This is what's going to consist of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. It's going to take quite a while to assemble a fleet like this, but this is going to be the one with light ships and medium ships only, matching the Carthaginian way of doing things. Because in an ideal situation, in future naval battles, the Carthaginian fleet are faster, but the lighter ships and the medium ships can catch them up, and during a naval battle in the early stages, then our heavier fleets will move in and destroy the rest. So we're adopting it to their style, to a degree. Plus having a dozen of these, at least it'll be cheaper and not too expensive. So that's why I decided to use this newfound income to build an entirely new fleet, not an entirely new army. We got enough in size. Also, you can finish your road. Alright. Don't overstay your welcome. Head to Alexandria. This could potentially take a few years. More than 26 territories, though. We are about to pick up, in 2 years' time, 13 more. And then we plan on conquering all of Iberia, which will be 19. And fighting against Tripoli will be 9. I don't think we'll be a major power yet. The heck are they doing out here? Anyways. What's the land like? There's a fort here. a port over there. It's mostly open country, almost no cities. In fact, this one, that's pretty much it. There's hardly anything up there. Right, they're a monarchy, not a tribe. But it's part of the Colchis region. Carthage has finished their war. Although we're not ready for them, but we are most certainly ready to fight against Iberia for further expansion. It's not going to cost too much for newly gained aggressive expansion, so we shall go ahead. Actually, hold that thought. For future reference. Which, by the way, it'll take you about, which no doubt that, okay, we declare war in the spring. Do it by the spring. Really, they've colonized. 13 then. Yeah, that gets a bit closer. Since there is a port here. If I was them, I would probably build a city here. Because, you know, add civilization. A feast. And the governor of Macedonia. On with the celebrations then. Civilizations. Barbarian powers, what you looking for? Like then. 0.06 each month. These unruly Libyan and government tribes that are going to spring up. Oh yeah, the new fleet. I think I may have an Aristodemid to take up. I hope. Alexandros, you're tactically inflexible, so that's worse. All grown up now, but you got a bad... Probably the tutor was bad. Could have been anything, but... You're blunt and tactically inflexible. And because of this, well, you're in charge of this navy now. At least there's some space. Behind schedule. Come on. Let's go. Attack will be the main objective. Then Antigone King will become enemy war leader. So be it. It's not like we're gonna squash them for good. Since they have nowhere to go. This is the capital, allegedly. Move on. No need Judea's help. He's not that corrupt, but this place is unruly. Stop them. You're making things worse. Oh, here they are. Got him. I found out why there was a rebellion. That's because the army was walking over to this area. Even though there's not much food to go around, so that's why they were just up and at it. Take each provincial capitals. There is a fort there. It's very secure. Of course, you're not willing. I assume competing power. Unless you're willing. No. The coming city again. Our extension of new privileges and investments into the local infrastructure has seen it grow from relative immunity to a true Macedonian city. While it still has some way to go before it can rival the great cities of our age, for the past 2 years ushered in a new era of growth and urbanization in this territory. It will now produce papyrus. Aye. Instead of grain, now it's papyrus. So now these people can come in as a city, a functioning city. If they want to see the tomb of Alexander, they can come right in. And if they want to make a living here, well then do so. I think this place has become overpopulated. It's the reason why the food levels are going down. Caucasus, Macedonian, Hellenic. Ideas. Again, the land doesn't really look like much, but land is land. And we'll let the manpower continue to increase while we take, you know, relatively light losses. There, now we have a claim, so it'll make it much easier. Which means it'll cost less in the war score. The total war score, in order to use it when we sue for peace. Reminds me. How you unruly Phrygians doing, or Lycaonians, or whatever you people that live there? Actually, it's mixed. Phrygian, down in Macedonian. Mixed populations. Iberia seems to be more widespread. The city was Macedonian earlier, now it's Iberia. I see, majority. What's tended to be mixed. Because of all the migrations coming in and out. Well, we'll just make sure that it's fully Hellenized, so... we get 2 theaters, 2 temples, tax office. I guess. Well, I'll be doing more of that, especially down in Egypt. These newly conquered territories. Turn back. Oh, you don't have to be Jewish to do that. Temple to the Muses. So we need more stability. Hurry up and surrender, will ya? I got money to spend. You got it. Got a temple. Let's go home. Hang on. Now what do you say? Yeah, we can't occupy this land because Persian Empire won't let us in. Yeah, there's no way to please them. Despite friendly trade relations. So I guess it'll just be reduced as a city-state then. Okay. And that's that. So that's 5 up as it was earlier. Is that correct? Yes, correct. This area is now part of the Hellenic League. Some rather precarious positioning here. This area will be its provincial capital because, well, isolated province. Is that so? It is so. I mean, you are connected now. Yeah, we'll be taking our leave. This army will stay, and if there's any rebellion here, we'll put it down. But subsequently, attack or Caucasus. Colchis, that's the city here. But they're a large population. So do you want to do that? Do this. Also, where's Colchis? Oh, that tiny place? Yeah, this is going to be a rather unruly place to govern. So I'm kind of hesitant about colonizing these areas. Now it's no longer an isolated province. We'll be taking our leave soon. Serenica is about to join the Hellenic League. Well, the city of Caucasus here will be, you know, the most important city of the entire region. Let me see. Where to put you? How about Miletus? Every damn time. 24 months. You haven't been doing anything, have you? No. Oh no, it's gonna be a year's time now. It's a good thing you built a border fort for us. He was the governor of Thrace. Someone not corrupt. Here. So, fort here. A fort there. Take that down. It's barracks. Put a fortress here. Choke point. And that is a slave estate. Not terribly concerned about getting more wood. Take that down. Fortress here too, so that way docks would be and the city would be occupied in case of Persian aggression. Although we can't cover all the bases, but do what we can. After weeks of nervous looks and smirks at the court, the whispers circling the palace finally reached the ears of the basilisk. It seems someone's been spreading rumors and spinning yards of his unequaled and unfitness for the throne. Damage has been done. Now all look at how the vassals will deal with the situation. No one could freely insult me. Investigation is launched. Carthage is advancing again. In fact, they are looking to make their biggest gain towards Conquest, so they're using it as a launching pad towards a sign which they're already there. That is where they draw the line. That's where I would cross the line. So now they've committed all their forces here, but it's possible that fighting against Carthage, land campaign once Serenity, it's part of ours. I mean, the fleet's not ready. The armies are in different positions. And we're only leaving one behind. Hey, fine, man. Yes, raised taxes to help with the economy. Slanderous spills all. The traitorous snake who attempted to demean the name of Naxamandros has been identified as none other than Scatus, who quickly confessed to his crimes. How should we deal with this vagabond? I'm trying to slowly get rid of my corruption, but I don't think that's gonna help. How much lower cohorts does he have? 18. It's reduced to 42. He'll be less probably less problem. Just forget him. His reputation is ruined. It appears Rome's at war, isn't it? Thebes, oh, now they're going up that way now. Now they're making big gains against the big tribal powers. And it's likely that the Persian revolt will be defeated there. Both of them have exhausted each other's manpower. Not if Parthia and Bactria can help. Makkah. Now the Mauryaans are advancing this way and may possibly establish a presence in the Arabian Peninsula. Our client, Seneca, has long upheld Hellenic ideals in a fair and even-handed manner. It is a matter, of course, therefore, that their eventual integration into our state is to be the cause for jubilation. The Senecan elite has been instrumental in facilitating this union, and many are hoping to find a place within our government. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of old wise men. Some of which know better than us. Some are extremely corrupt. Doesn't matter who you pick. I would go for him. Iberia Machinitis. The rest can go. Alright. Big city here. Border fort. I'll put it here. This is a well-established area. It's pretty good land I would add. A lot of fish here. Hell, the coast is full of fish. You know what? I'd rather build a city here, but If only we have another political influence, because this is a port area. Oh, that reminds me. Port. What's the naval range? Not enough to reach Carthage itself if you were to sustain a presence there. But it is enough to, you know, reach Sicily. Not enough to Ostia. But certainly along the coast in a future war against Carthage. But no doubt. So, begin to establish yourself here. Since, you know, we do have a road that does connect all the way to there, where we will begin hostilities. Fleet is not yet finished. Alright, it's good enough. It could use a little more food though. Let me see. Oh hell. Yeah, this is going to be a difficult place to hold. As this area has no cities. Should we really integrate that culture? I mean, as you look at it that way, they're the most dominant of the, I mean, if we integrate them, we could at least stop them. Make a decision regarding the Iberia. Increase by 12. Oh, just go for right of inheritance. That'll slow them down. Do you know what, we have to compromise? The Iberia will be a integrated people. Because I fear the worst. Make a divine sacrifice. Just to keep that stability up if we can. But that aggressive expansion would also soon go away. What had he picked up? Skeptical. Good for money, but bad for Roman power and zeal, which I thought you were the most zealous man around. But you know what? Since he's already got himself a spouse, which they've yet to have children, these two. But as for you, let me find you. May never know. Yeah, this one. The Nace of the Basilisk. Yes, they're related. Didn't think I stutter, huh? That's just in case if he were a ruler himself. Negative political influence now. I think give it a year or two, then that's when I will consider hostilities against the Carthaginians will begin. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep everything stable since we're an ever-expanding country. Yes, Carthaginians are making gains with them. Oh boy. The right to join in the military defend Hellenic League through force arms has been a long point of pride of our citizens. Now, with increasing rights bestowed upon the Iberal people, calls are mounting that they should be allowed to serve in the military as well, as a possible solution to our dwindling manpower reserves. Of course, it must cause jealousy and resentment to our existing soldiery, many of whom view the Iberos as their old enemy. Here's a big manpower gain, so this will last for 60 months, so an excellent idea. There'll be freemen. I mean, not a good idea, but couldn't pass that opportunity. I mean, we have even manpower, so I did say in about a year or two's time we'll be ready. We'll be war ready by then. Actually, by this, because it's ship discipline. What's next that's coming up? Siege engineers, army attrition, retreat delay. Retreat delay reduced. As in, like when the battle isn't going well, then just begin retreat, right? But I think reduced war score will do just fine as well. So just wait for it. Yes. Give me that, that would be good. Siege engineers are just... I think I can live without them. Knowing how we deal with forts these days. I'm sure I'll find something for you. Go for this one. Plotting quietly again, huh? too many low cohorts. It's like, to me, I would just love to get rid of him right now and appoint his son here. He would make a good general, but the problem is, the man is stubborn, arrogant, and skeptical. And a total foreigner. So he's the worst of all. Well, he would be considered an improvement. And also, you know, he's head of the family, so... It's a wonder how the Phrygians are now, you know, in politics as well. That's mixed in. While our family's kept small. Vengeful. Right. Get the position. In anticipation of the next conflict, which will no doubt happen in the next episode. We'll place our trust in him. Yeah, you may want to begin. Soon everybody's going to be moving out. Slow general. We can't pay that many. Damn it, man. Why do you have to make things so difficult? I mean, we have the wealth of the country. You demand this many? I cannot allow it. I'm sorry, you do not bow to blackmail. But you will be having this. General of 3rd Army. Which 3rd Army is over here? Which, get back to your post. You're about to depart. We are preparing for the eventual conflict. Yes, Carthage has established itself. They can't handle it. Still make very good money. Begin your departures now. Because I think everyone is needed. One's going there. No. Another one to here. And this one just to be safe. Begin your march. Something's a bit off with me. I know I will end the episode very soon. It's just talking about army compositions. Yes, they're on their way to Sunaka, but something's a bit off. Come back. You're not going this way. This army will continue its events to make a stop here. As for you, pick up the pace. You're going to be first in line. Yes, you're going to be first ones ahead. And also, this area here. Like, we do hold 2 border forts here. Because we know that the Illyrian areas of the Carthaginian Illyria is also a precarious position. We still have our old client state there, which I'm sure they'll contribute to something. But I can't guarantee. Which means this army of the Caucasus may have to come down to Greece and defend this area here. But I also cannot guarantee any possible rebellions in the Colchisian regions, knowing how they do not like us, nor their corrupt governors of the region. I'm sure one of these days we gotta have high stability and a lot of money for this. But anyways, don't start the war yet. That'll happen in the next episode, which will be all about it. Gonna be kept back there in reserve. Stand by. Okay, they've reached their post. There, have it. Yes, we're letting the blind Phrygian lead the army. They're going to be the first ones in line. There's going to be backup. And then our best general, Nicandros, the Desert Fox himself, as we called him affectionately. And congratulations for recent birth of your daughter. He's plotting quietly. Whatever he does, let him have it. Again, he came from Halicarnassus. You could slow down now. No need to rush things. Once you're in position, that's when war will be declared. The fleets will be deployed. Oh, there it is. He was the head of the family. Please, don't let it be him. A Beoshid Zoroastrian, what the heck? but deceitful. Oh, I don't know about that one. Plus, I'd rather have him be the general. He's found it, but he's also stressed. Yeah, I'd rather have him to be the general to succeed his father. But I don't particularly trust that man. So I'm going for him. Coach situation's rather low. Okay, now we reached your destination, and that is where we will stop with this episode. Because this is what the episode's going to be all about. The Mediterranean and North African campaign. Carthage has recently concluded its war, which can only mean one thing. They have expanded more into the provinces of Osmia, America, and Amentia. To be more specific, the America region. Carthage has made its way up here. Does that make them the largest country in the world? But on the highest score, we're still very high. Which no doubt this has been a very successful series. But, however, the largest number in territories still belongs to the Mauryaans, with 810. Seems Carthage is really catching up on Persian Empire as the largest country, but although it would have been larger if that Persian revolt had not existed. And yes, the Mauryaans have established a presence in Gerha. And now the Maurya is an empire. The emperor wields absolute power over the state and usually holds sovereignty over lesser kings and nobles. And based on seeing no ideas here, that means that Dashashakaka is the first emperor of Maurya, a Samrat, if you will, as he resides in Patliputra with his cohorts. He's got all daughters. Well, who's the primary heir? Well, Bindusara, of course. Just wanted to look at that as a bit of interest. And the UG have begun to appear in this timeline. I don't know if they've been here already. And we know that Parnia has eliminated this from the map. And are looking to expand more into this region. Though they would be good potential allies if they weren't a competing power. But, although there is a common threat, especially with Persian Empire. I could see that. So maybe we could become friends with the Scythians in the future. Since we have a open number of active diplomatic relations. Should look for more client states in the future. Although the question is, where? Who knows? Who cares? I bet near Superior. Oh, they're a long way. Not quite, but who knows? Unless they're gone for a mercantile stance. Rome is barely winning this war. Carthage is ready, and so are we. So here we go, another very deadly war that's coming up. They have what it takes. So, we hope you join us in the next episode, because things are going to get very bloody. As we will pick up this one more army, which they'll be sent over here. Landed Pella to make their way there. And this will be a separate front But we can't know that for certain. And that unfortunately means we will have to fight against our old fellow Greek from Syracuse, which is a client state to Carthage, which surprisingly they have not rebelled against. Though they'd be willing to transfer, but they have to be a disloyal subject, as Carthage has been expanding aggressively. So Tripolitania will be the first one to go up against. There's only one city here before we'll move further up. But again, this is going to be the goal here. That's Imperator, which is to establish presence here. But we may also want to get this area. So no doubt this will start a series of wars with Carthage inland, and then eventually reach to Carthage itself. Very populous. They're mostly Canaanites and mainly Punics, so we may consider having one more integrated culture, which the Iberos are fully integrated now. Yes? So yes, you got Boeotian, Bacchic, native Egyptians, Phrygians, and Iberos. So if I had my druthers and have one more, let me see here. Cultural resentments will have less discipline. So that may be a handicap in an early part of the war, but we just hope that the bulk of the Carthaginian armies are still over there and in the mainland and not down here. Otherwise, well, we could get into some trouble. They have a lot of money, which no doubt they can afford mercenaries. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're going to end that episode. Get ready for the Mediterranean North African campaign. But until then, so long for now.